And what is up, y'all? TheeConciseKing here, back with yet another Apex Legends video, and I hope you guys soak this one up because in today's video, I'm going to be handing you guys a few select legends that I find it easiest to get kills with, most certainly knocks with, and I want to share that with you all today. Now, alongside why I think it's easy to get kills with them, I'm going to be giving you guys my in-game tips, play-to-play, that I actually use that's made a difference in me getting knocks and eventually going on to secure those kills. Now, I play a lot of Apex, I watch a lot of Apex, and the one thing I find so unique about Apex Legends, the game itself, is that there are splendid and amazing opportunities that can come from pairing these legends and their composition so well. Now, if you're new around the channel, if you're watching my video for the first time and even go on to love this video, it would be so freaking dope if you guys could smash that like button, help me reach my video goal of 20 likes as I set on all of my videos, and actually my newly added weekly subscriber goal of 10 new subscribers. Can we get 10 new subscribers pulled from this video by the end of this week, getting us to 260 subs, closer to that most beautiful 300 subscribers. You guys are watching yet another Apex Legends video, keeping it short, sweet, and concise with TheeConciseKing. Let's get it.
I can feel the world get farther. Every year the stars get.
Now, the first thing I want to start with is the current meta itself, the man of death himself. Yeah, that's right, I am talking about Revenant. Revenant and his very gloomy kit, it surely makes him one of the easiest legends to acquire kills here in the Apex arena. You might have noticed along your Season 8 journey, you yourself witnessing a plethora of Rev death totem pushes, and if you've been super naughty, you can expect his good old pal right next to him, a good old Rev Octane push. Now, Revenant, he's a legend I wanted to start with because in playing him, you'll come to find that every aspect of his kit allows for him to quickly dual damage, and in doing that, you just need to be there to seize the opportunity. Let's talk about his tactical. His tactical Silencer, it deals 10 damage while silencing your enemy's abilities for 20 seconds, while right next to his ultimate ability, his death totem, that seemingly gives him and his squad a second chance at life to create space to double tap your enemy squads. In every encounter you come into with an enemy, your silencer must be present. It stops your enemies from retreating and adapting to that fight. Now, pair your silencer with, say, a few shots plus the tactical damage that's already dealt itself, your enemies will be down within seconds if you actually think about it. Putting just a few shots in them, and the next thing you know is back to the lobby. That's what we're going for, guys. Now, the icing on the cake for securing kills is using the death totem in every instance that you can, and I mean the second that you have it. Now, rather than encourage you to use the death totem to recklessly, I don't know, push your enemies and push all the third parties and the fourth party fights that you hear, consider using the totem actually to stay alive as long as possible. Now, that doesn't mean walk on eggshells around each fight and peek and not be in the fight with your team and engaging around the fight. It means to down as many enemies that you can while in that totem as possible. Work on your 1v1 engagements. Work on those tactics that you're not good at in the death totem as much as you can, because your tactical plus your totem, it actually strengthens you and your squad's probabilities of winning each and every fight you come across. Get into it. Now, moving on to my girl, the weapon manufacturer herself, Rampart, aka she is actually on a very smallest of scales, a low-key cracked player when it comes to securing kills in the Apex Legends arena. Now, rock with me here, guys. I've done many Rampart videos, breakdowns, guides, let my channel and my community tell you, and I must say, time and time again, players, they continue to doubt this outgoing amp damage when it comes to holding your ground while behind Rampart's amp's cover. Let's start here. Her cover, it boosts outgoing damage to any gun by 20%. It's like imagining hammer point damage on practically any of your favorite guns while shooting through it. Now, how do I acquire kills while behind this thing? Listen, it's no secret Rampart is a setup shop kind of legend, but with her most recent amp cover buffs, the cooldowns going from 28 seconds to 20 seconds, the deploy time of the amp cover itself now sitting at a full 3 seconds. This actually allows for Rampart to make cover in the midst of fights. Being chased around a corner, no problem. With your enemy just seconds behind, you can set up your amp cover in just 3 seconds, and it's nice for creating that element of surprise for when they are so rushing you around that corner. Now the tip I might add here is that it's important you get that amp cover fully deployed, with Apex developers adding thank you 45 health to her cover while it is building up. Consider fighting away from the amp cover, eventually luring your enemies to it when it's fully developed, landing just the rest of your shots while behind that amp cover, boosting that damage. Listen guys, when it's all said and done with Rampart and you're holding your ground behind that amp cover, trying to secure that kill, it's much smarter to actually break the knockdown shield, dealing an extra 20% damage than not be behind the amp cover at all. Rampart is a defensive legend, so it's key that you let the game come to you. Now guys, for our last legend of the day that I wanted to highlight here, it would have been much easier for me to put Caustic in this particular video. Since Gas Daddy's nerf hasn't been blowing over so well, I figured I'd let it cool out just a little bit more, and I figured I'd start fresh with him in a part 2 of this video. Yes, I said a part 2 because I think there's just a range of opportunities to secure kills with each and every one of these legends in the Apex Legends arena, and with more buffs that we're seeing coming in Season 9 and beyond, it seems like a part 2 is going to be needed. With that being said, Fuse, ladies and gentlemen, Fuse. What? Yes, guys, I'm sticking to it, okay? Now, of course, not only is he the legend with the lowest win rate in the current Apex Legends games and the possible weakest of all the offensive legends, not to mention he didn't have the best grand opening coming into the Apex games. While I'm just really talking myself out of this, Fuse's kit nonetheless actually creates room for disrupting fights. He's a grenadier, so there's no doubt his tactical and his ultimate should do more damage than it actually does. Apex does, if you could just hear our cry. The idea of him being able to launch grenades faster and further, that should not have been lost on us at all. We know a Rev Octane push is this season's meta, so a part of Fuse's presence in the Apex arena stems from spam grenading, disrupting fights with boom. But let's break it down just a bit more. How does one secure kills with the lowest win rate of legend in the Apex Legends arena? Well, since Fuse is such a complex legend, his kit is not really so grounded. So I find myself experimenting, even playing with him whenever I do, in only pub lobbies, in particular duos. I just want more room to experiment and have more creative freedom. Now, outside of spam nading your enemies while they're in a small space, we know that works, guys. We've seen all the videos. When it comes to a clean 1v1, allow me to introduce to you guys a little idea I've been working on for some time now, and I kind of wanted to make a separate video, but so fitting for this one. Allow me to introduce the Knuckle Shred. Now, the Knuckle Shred is a pairing technique of launching Fuse's knuckle cluster, his tactical, and immediately followed by landing of your shot. Now, the idea is to deal bullet damage while his knuckle cluster simultaneously deals its own 50 damage per grenade. The pairing of these two with just a little bit of practice immediately calls for your enemies to fall within just a few seconds, believe me. Alright, now let's take a little trip on over to his ultimate motherlode, which we'd like to see a few buffs coming in here later in the future. Now, this should absolutely be used to enclose your enemies, even if you're out in open spaces, and afterwards launching several throwables into that ring of fire immediately. It will fluster your enemies, and it will actually cause them to more recklessly run through the fire than to stay within that ring of fire. Now, great pairings for running a Fuse would be, I'd say, digi threats, as well as a heavy hitter assault rifle, something that you can use to peak damage to get your enemies just a bit weak, then pile that tactical knuckle cluster on top. I think the whole idea of Fuse is to deal explosive damage while pairing it with bullet damage. It's no secret his ultimate is super escapable, so catching your enemies as they run through that ring of fire to escape it calls for easy knocks, more than likely going to lead to you securing that kill. Double tapping them again with the knuckle cluster as they're knocked is an even better way to weaken their knockdown shield, so you can lay those smooth and easy shots. Wow. And guys, that's all I have for the part 1 of this video. For the legends, I think it's easiest to get kills with just a select few. And so as you guys can see, with each of these legends, it's all about keeping that pressure. Their abilities allow for them to deal easy damage without necessarily even having to fire a single gun. It's about keeping the pressure, keeping track of your damage, keeping track of the damage your team deals. Follow these simple steps, guys, heading into fights, and you will boost your confidence. You will see progress in your KD ratio, and you will feel so much better about your 1v1 engagements, no matter the enemy before you. Other than that, man, I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm so thankful to be making these videos for you guys. And if you guys once again even enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like for that lovely like goal. If you see me around, come popping in the stream. We'd love to have you, as I will be doing weekly Apex Legends giveaways on stream, as well as a forthcoming weekly Saturday 1v1 tournaments within my lovely, ever-growing gaming community here on YouTube. Once again, it's TheeConciseKing. Take care of yourselves, love on yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next Apex Legends video, in the next Apex Legends live stream, and of course, always in the Apex Legends arena. Peace.
I can feel the world getting farther. Every year the stars get darker.